I see you've got some nice chunks of ice in her.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
That's
What are
good.
you at today, Fenwick? What's your bath sitting at?
Let me check.
Not even got the lid off.
1.8.
Oh,
Oh. Aren't you the ice swimmer? We're at 0.5 today.
What's yours?
0.5. Is that 0.5?
0.5. Yeah, that's nice. It's funny. This whole temperature thing is actually quite a good subject. Like a lot of people start chasing the lower digits and they get hung up on it, like, it's better to go colder, and it's actually not. The benefits are actually further up and more controllable. It is a very interesting topic, that temperature gauge, and actually my favourite temperature would be about 4.5, because that's when the water is at its most densest, and it's the most comfortable of cold. But I do like the lower. I've swam quite a distance in 0.2 and 1 degree, but yeah, about 4.5 is like the optimum for me. And I think it's also because when it comes down to performance, because I'm a long distance ice swimmer, now that's my main game. Just between that 4.5 and 5 is like the sweetness of like being able to swim quite far. But I suppose I might as well. I've done 3 kilometers just under 3 degrees, so 2.8 ish.
I'm not even sure I could swim 3 kilometers anyway, to be honest.
And like, I'll quite openly admit it was like, we're saying 3 kilometers, but I think it was actually one of my friends actually says this, but it wasn't though. I went, it was maybe about 50 meters off. But yeah, I mean that's my main thing, and I'm training now to be a lot faster. And that, for me, that's like a big change for me, because I've never, like in my later years of like outdoor swimming and long distance marathon swimming, I've kind of went for all the long distance and not really short course. So now I'm looking at being faster on like 50, 100, 250, 500, and also trying to get faster in my 1K as well. So yeah, I'm training quite differently now.
How long does it take you to do 1K?
Oh, go on. I'll let you go on. Have a guess.
No.
How long would it take to do a normal K?
It would take
running time.
Well, yeah, I haven't got. It could take me about 3 hours, but I don't know how long it would take you.
I did my best time was 4:30. 14:30. Sorry, 4:30. But I'm 14 minutes 30 seconds. I kind of need to get down to 13:50. That's what I'm looking to get. And at the moment, it's quite. I feel like as if I'm right at the bottom of the road of training, and also down a pothole. So it feels quite far away at the moment, but not impossible. I'm just about to enter the.
How do you train? Do you use the ice bath to train yourself for the cold exposure? But then that's just distances. Where are you swimming?
Yeah, so I've got a very unique sort of position with my full-time job is swimming. All I do is swim, and I've got a lake where I run my business out of, and I'm full-time at the lake, and I have a beautiful swim course that I can use. So I'm up there all the time training in my lake. So that's where I coach, and that's where I deliver courses. I also deliver my sauna sessions, being a sauna master, which we'll probably have a little chat about as well. But also, this place is the coldest swim venue in England. When it comes down to swim venues, no other swim venue gets as cold as what we do for as long as what we do, because we're like 240 meters up and we're only about 11, 12 foot deep. It's a very special body of water, and I'm basically a product of the lake. This body of water has actually helped me get to where I am now. And so I use the lake, and also I've got my land-based training. And now with the support, which started with that, with Betty, when it got like on the warmer times, I was struggling to get cold enough. And I've got a barrel to my right-hand side here that was my setup, where I plumbed in the machine, and it was a lot of maintenance to try and keep the temperature down. I've got a very particular technique of making it colder, but my God, I was just struggling. And my wife got in touch with Brass Monkey and said, "Can you help my husband? He's needing to get as cold as possible for his training." And they are like completely the best, the most amazing people that they are. Brass Monkey, the most generous, loving, amazing people. They helped me out.
Northerners.
Because yes, I love it. And they sent me Betty up, and I had Betty for a while. And then they've been helping us massively with my training, because I've now got my own. And also, this is going to be like, I mean, this is going to be a complete game changer for me, because with the contrast therapy, this is amazing, but contrast training, oh my God, like unreal sort of difference I've seen in the contrast training that I've been doing. So difference being is I'm doing a very particular temperature, with a very particular temperature of swimming and going in the sauna. So balancing it between certain lengths of swims and time and certain lengths of temperature, and going back and forth. And throughout the month, there's a very particular structure using the sauna and the water. But now, because the season's starting to change, I'm now going to start using the Brass Monkey with the sauna, but also the sauna going into the river. It's very complicated when it starts getting a bit warmer, because I need to swim, but I also need to cool as well. So some days I'll swim and sauna, and other days I'll sauna and ice dip. And it's all about this boosting of my thermal regulation, this boosting this growth of the brown fats, so this is this internal strength that I'm getting to be able to sustain and be in there for a long period of time. And I wouldn't be able to do it without this machine, because the press of the button shoots it down, and I've got that temperature. On a lovely hot day, I don't need to worry about it's a game changer. It's going to help me. This season is going to be really interesting, because this will be the first summer with this beast. And
what's the name of the beast? Just Beast, maybe. Beast and Betty.
It's possible. Do you know what? I've been really struggling. I have to admit, I've been really struggling. I don't have a name for her yet.
Barry and Betty. How about that?
Barry. I don't know if I don't think it sounds right if I'm having a bath in Barry. I think we might. I'm totally open for some help here, because I am actually stuck.
Write some suggestions in the comments.
Yes, I like this. Yes.
Barry.
Oh, that's class. And so I will actually make a lovely little sticker for the name and to go on the tub. Yeah.
So Fenwick, how long can you stay? I know you have a record of how long you can stay in the ice.
Yeah. It's definitely something I feel a bit cringy about talking about sometimes now, because
about it.
I've done well over an hour. I've done well over an hour in those lower digits. The thing is, we do become an energy burner. There's no benefit at all in actually doing it. Just want to point that out. When people start saying, oh, I could do 20 minutes, I could do 40 minutes, and I did it in 2 degrees, and yeah, well done. You're fully fledged, full class energy burner. And
I
actually,
wonder what you're going to say. We can think of other names.
yeah, it's but like it's funny because like people are getting hung up on temperature and time, where actually just a couple of minutes is perfect, and that's where you get the most return and most response. And
And it's
if you're going into that,
different days, right? Sometimes you might want a little bit more, and sometimes you might not need as much.
yeah,
You have to be
yeah,
intuitive about it.
yeah, because this is the thing. Like, I mean, I go up and down all the time, but I do get seen as this like person who is like super got super strength in being in the cold. Of course, I do. But I'm human. I also go down. I had a really shit day the other week where I really wanted to get into the tub, but I lasted 30 or 40 seconds. And that's real. That's what happens. We are plummeted with like stress, anxiety, dehydration, lack of sleep, drinking too much coffee, and taking on loads of work, and then you expect to be able to sit in the tub, and actually no, sometimes it's just a bit of a flash in the water. But then other days when I'm feeling like right on top of things, I'm in there and I'm embracing, and I'll not even have a reaction or description going in there. I can just go in there and boss it, and that is an awesome strength. But the realization is that we are human, and we go up and down levels. So there's a great thing I was telling Brass Monkey the other week about. We encourage this saying of fresh awareness. So fresh awareness standing for food, rest, exposure, stress, and hydration. So these things of being aware of will help you on that journey of going into that tub and embracing the cold and getting that hydrostatic like hug off the water, but doing it in a safe manner. So being aware of like your food, your rest, being aware of exposure, being like the time frame that you're going in there. Stress being probably the biggest one at the moment. Like stress and hydration, people don't really realize how stressed they are, and they're still trying to embrace it, and it don't last that long. And then they struggle to rewarm. Well, it's all about energy. Everything that we're talking about is all about energy. So we have to be like aware that our energy goes up and down a lot. But I'm quite certain that I'll smash some good times on distance, but also exposure, being in the cold and sitting in the tub for like a crazy amount of time. But my main aim right now is mostly all to do with being stronger, fitter, healthier, better mind, and just a better rhythm of life. And that's my main aims. There's nothing else to that, and I'm getting supported by heat, but also cold.
Yeah, and you're training for this. It's important to note that, so somebody could get in here and do 20 minutes, 40 minutes. It's something that you've trained for.
You have a protocol that you've been implementing for a long time to be able to do this kind of exposure.
So that's it. I mean, we go down the route of habituation adaptation, and that's like that can happen with some people quite quickly. I've seen some people start off outdoor swimming with me mid-season when it's like 20 degrees or in the water, and drop in that little brain nodule of like saying you could go a little bit colder and we might get you in the winter. And they always turn around and go, shut up, no way, I am not going in the winter. And then come at the end of the season, they've climbed down the temperature ladder, and I got them down to 10 degrees. And I says, well, if you do 10, you can do 9, and I'll help you do that. And by the time they've realised they're actually in the depths of winter, coming up and actually they're in there 1 degree, and like, oh my god, I can't believe I can do this. That's because you've built into it step by step. You've allowed yourself to edge towards it. But there's a lot of mindset involved in that as well, though. It's important to kind of like understand that someone just off the street, like if I went up in the town and just says, look, do you want to jump into this bath, and get into like they would find it really hard, because the gears aren't in there for that, which is, you know, the brain sort of adaptation, and also the body's not used to it, so they'll find it hard. And it's quite hard seeing a lot of people buy these like inflatable baths and just tubs at home and put them out there, and I get messages saying, oh, how do I make it colder? And actually, just hold on. The best way to do this is just start with the tap water and build into it really gradually over a period of time, and then you could maybe start using a couple of techniques of using blocks of ice and circulating them and trying to drop it. You don't have to go into a machine straight away, but obviously a machine helps you control that temperature gauge and helps you with that. I know Brass Monkey they're doing pretty good work with like making these machines and that. And there's a lot of people out there doing tubs and that, but it is important to kind of shout out the sort of safety sort of side of it. It's like, you know, go gradual. Yeah, don't push too hard at the very beginning. Don't aim for those like 1-2 degrees, you know, because you're gonna squeal and you're not gonna. It's like strangling the body, really. If you go to the gym, you do a step-by-step process of building that muscle. Your body loves that strategic structure of building muscle and building in and doing it properly. Where it's exactly the same with the habituation into the cold. Your body loves step by step, nice and gradual, and it gets stronger faster than what it would if you just strangled it all the time. Yeah.
I think that's a really cool analogy, because you can actually kind of see that. You can imagine that you build the weights up each week as your body gets stronger, and it's the same with the some weeks at the gym maybe you can't lift as heavy because you've had stress or you're underhydrated or you haven't slept, and it's the same with the cold, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The hydration part is like, it's unreal. It's such a huge part when it comes down to embracing the cold. But
anything, I mean, we talk about this a lot, and hydration, and I think people seem to think it's reserved for like elite level athletes for performance, but it's not. I mean, just to even have the capacity to, like, you know, get up and get the kids out and get on the school run and do basic things, if you're hydrated, you're in such a better starting point to go about life.
I think
and so many people are underhydrated.
Oh yeah, so I mean, they think tea and coffee works, and like they also they're like a couple of hours before, oh, I'll get a bottle of water in. It's actually, well, your body's not going to absorb that in time, really. You need to be starting the day before, and also it's also foods. Recognition of those particular salts that we lose, and you know, I know it sounds mental, but like water out the tap is like not that hydrating. It's like,
it's bad, you know, is what it is. Water out the tap is bad.
It's really bad. And it's like.
But also, what I would say as well, people often then filter their water, but then they forget to remineralize it.
Yeah.
Which is the big mistake. So they're taking, even though the tap water is terrible, especially like here in London, it's particularly bad quality. But then they filter it thinking they're doing a good thing, they're taking all the nasties out, but actually then forgetting to remineralize it, you've also lost some of the electrolytes that were in it, some of the minerals that were in it.
I tell you what, one of the things that I absolutely love now, which is definitely my new favorite thing, is when at the start of the season, when I say the start of like spring, when you've got the chances to get birch water, I'm out there now getting put my taps into the trees and filling up my bottles of birch water, And when I come out the sauna, I'll go and do my training and then go up to one of my trees and drink the birch water and go back into the sauna. Oh my God, it's so good. It's definitely one of my new favorite things. Yeah. So I suppose next year, the start of spring, just as the roots are taking in that lovely juice and it's starting to travel up the tree, you need to come up. You need to come up. We'll do some sauna and we'll drink birch water fresh from the tree.
Love that.
Done. We'll be there.
100%.
Wicked.
So what are you training for at the moment?
What am I training for?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the best answer to that is I'm training for me. I'm training for my next bigger, stronger, wider self. I'm trying to get into the World Championships for Italy in January. So I'm trying to get to the point where I can actually perform in the next age category. Because unfortunately, for me, I go into the 40 category in January, and it's at the start of the World Championships.
Join
So
the Boys Club.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it because I made it my mission that I would totally change and get a lot faster and push all cylinders for the next sort of 7 months to dominate and do a lot better in the next age category, because the next age category are fucking fast and they're like the best. Honestly, the some of the fastest, and going in there, I have to go in there strong. I can't go in there like what I am now. I need to push a lot harder. So at the moment, I'm doing anything between 20 and 30k a week. Which it's this week's my. It's funny we're talking about this. This week's my first week of change, where I've upped the training massively. So yeah, I'm going to be demolished by the end of today. I'm pleased this is happening this morning because tonight I'll be an absolute mess. Because I've just done my gym session this morning. So yeah. But Modena, Italy, that's my next.
I think that's a really interesting point, though. So the older age category is faster,
better, stronger, fitter.
Yeah. Well, they're more dedicated. You've got people in there who are more dedicated, who've got more experience, and it's a hell of an age category, 40 to 44. So yeah, there's a guy who is there's a guy who's in the this current category. He's 2 years younger than me, so hopefully 2 years without him coming in. So I need to try hard for my 2 years before he comes in.
Brilliant.
But yeah,
it's the fact that the older ones are the stronger ones. Yes to that.
I tell you what, this is a good shout for you. Actually, that's not my next competition. My next competition is quite an interesting one, and it is sauna championships in Sweden.
I'm in for that.
Oh, can we come?
I'm down for that.
Sauna is live.
It's I never thought I would be going to it, but I basically when I was across in Estonia earlier on in the year, I was at the IWSA Winter Championships, and there was a guy there who had a sauna. It was like a wooden football sort of structure. It's quite small, but a huge fire in it. And it said it had printed on the side the world's most extreme sauna, and it honestly it was brutal. I mean, he said because I told him about what I was doing and what I was training for, and he says, "Oh, this would be interesting." can I challenge you for sauna? I went, all right, yeah, okay, we'll do it. I didn't know at that point that he's actually Sweden's sauna champion. And he took me in there, and it was 120 degrees straight off. There was no build up, no nothing. It's straight up, right in your face, and my God, I was squirming and screaming. And I dropped down to the lower level, back up the top, back down again, and then I tapped out. I was straight out, and the steam coming off my body was. My friend was videoing, and she was laughing. I've made a video to this, and I need to post it up actually. And of course, he was still sitting in there. And I opened the door and said, how are you still sitting in there? That is ridiculous. He came out and he says, do you know what? You did really well there. You've got good potential. And I says, really? He went, yeah, most people on that sort of heat would just be straight out. You actually stayed and fought against it and kept on going. I was just, I am a bit of a fighter, and I will stay. He goes, I would like to give you a ticket for the sauna championships in August. I was like, fuck yes, right, let's do it. But I'm not going in what temperatures that they go in. Absolutely not. From what I've seen and heard what they do, no, 150, 160 degrees. No.
I think what you should probably say to them is the world's most extreme sauna is coming on a Sweaty AF podcast in the sauna. That's the world's most extreme sauna because you'll be squirming around when we interview them.
Brilliant. That's so good. It's funny. I've got 3 saunas. But, one of them is quite a small one. I call it the Rocket. It's absolutely brutal.
Right here.
It's what did you say?
Lucy Lockett Pocket Rocket, because I'm a midget. So I've always had
Oh, brilliant.
Is it wood-fired sauna or?
Yeah, they're all wood-fired. So like I've got 3 sauna tents. And I actually had my third one just arrived yesterday. Actually, I've just redesigned one. I had it built in a particular way. So that came yesterday. I've been waiting for it for 2.5 months as it's been sitting at sea. But I'm going to link them all up and I've got this idea of heat drafting. So using each tent to draft the heat through. So that's this week I'm going to be setting it up and have a little go like. It's the sauna work is something I'm just like I never thought I'd be so passionate about, and it's all linked together. Like the sauna work is all beneficial to being in there and giving me the whole sort of like boost and growth that I need, and the sauna helps with being more habituated and adapted into the cold growing, because they both grow brown fat cells. So like, you know, you're getting the benefit of it's like supercharging. It's basically like supercharging. That's probably the best way I can describe it. I'm wanting to see how far this whole sauna work goes, and I've just built I've got a cattle trailer that I'm changing into a sauna. I'm going to park that down next to the water's edge as well. So, the sauna work is all like just as much love as what I have is with the cold now, which I never thought that would be the case. I've just seen a couple of friends pop in there, and I wanted to let's have a look to see. I don't even know how I can actually get people up, but I've got a few friends that are embracing the cold as well. We've got the Wild Southern Yorkshireman, my friend Gilly. I think Gilly's still there. No, Gilly's gone. And my friend John. John also has his ice bath at home. And of course, we've got the one and only Brass Monkey. Excellent stuff.
Should we dip?
Are you ready?
it's time.
Yeah.
I think it is time. Yeah.
You go first, and we'll kind of hang around a bit.
Why is that?
Well, because you're going to last a lot longer than us, aren't you?
Well, you know,
Going in at the same time.
Yeah, I'm only going to be aiming for a couple of minutes of bath time, really. So,
Let's do it.
so are you both getting in at the same time?
Yeah.
Get yourselves in.
Woo! Breakfast sleep.
Yeah, that's good. Now, so I know there's a lot of people who do like, you know, start doing a bit of breath work to get in, and
That's me.
I mean,
Before
do
you,
you?
before you say anything bad, that's me. That's what I do.
We do love breath work just throughout life, though, not just with Betty. It is a very important part of our day.
Right. And you do this.
All right.
And
Why I'm on it.
the other thing is that I actually don't I don't actually bother getting my hands into the water as well, which yeah, there's it's not really. You see, if I'm going to be touching the phone to like do stuff, there's no way I'm going to risk to drop that phone just from getting my hands cold. What are your main control mechanisms for once you're submerged? That was from Matt from Try Open Water.
Well, always.
Mine's talking. I'm a talker. You're not, are you?
Yeah, I quite like just I like going in with normal state. So normal state breathing, not deep, not fast, nothing too Larry. It's just literally normal state being nothing over the top. I want to be able to control my well, I just want to sit down in it and be nice and relaxed. Some days I might actually sit for a little while.
We're not staying in for an hour. We'd be dead. With 2 corpses.
So sometimes sometimes I might sit by the bath before I get in. I might sit by it for a little while. I try to get away from my phone for a bit as well.
Yeah.
Because quite often I don't like associating it with technology. I want to try and keep away from like the waves of energy that are unnecessary. Well, it's not waves of energy, it's waves of disruption. So yeah, I saw another question. I saw something else.
I think Lisa's a bit cold here. Can she get out, please?
I'm done.
You've done really well. Well done. And especially the fact, I mean, the temperature of that water.
Yeah, it's
What was it again?
0.5 degree today.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's a really strong temperature. So yeah, and we'll talk. Let's chat about getting out of the water and actually what to do and what to expect and what not to do. So we'll cover some of them when we get out. But yeah, I'm loving the fact that you've got a nice sheet of ice that you've been breaking up. And for anyone that kind of would like to understand how these things work, and it is always nice to kind of just like these machines are unreal for generating ice but dropping in temperature. But you press the button and what it does is it releases the ice, so it freezes on the sides or the bottom, and then the pressing the button heats it up and releases the ice, and then you've got sheets of ice on the top of the water. So this is how they've got ice in the bath. They haven't went off and bought loads of.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they haven't went off and bought bags of ice. They've because actually going off and buying bags of ice from the shop is actually not that great for the environment.
No.
And also even if you go down the route of buying an ice machine, if my friend John is still in the chat, John has an industrial ice machine that can generate enough ice for his machine, for his bath. So you have to spend quite a lot of money for one of those decent machines. So don't go out and buy a little ice maker, because you'll not get what you need from it.
I think also like the cleanliness of it as well. Obviously, the amazing thing with these brass monkeys is they have like double filtration, the UV light cleaning. So it's not. I mean, I know it's super tempting to go and get one of those little plastic tubs and fill it full of ice, like you were saying earlier. But
yeah,
they're really hard to keep clean.
yeah. I mean that barrel there that I've got there is, oh my God, the amount of times I have to empty it, scrub it, clean it. It's now got little larvae swimming around in it. It's quite dark, it's quite smelly. It's brutal. And I haven't even been getting in it. But yeah, these things with the UV filter and stuff are absolute. I absolutely love my brass monkey. And I mean, this totally wasn't a sales pitch, or the idea. The live wasn't about the brass monkey, but we love it. We love them that much. What to do when you get out the tub? Tell me what you usually normally do.
We usually like run inside and make a hot drink.
Yeah.
In wet swimwear, can you get a challenge?
Yeah, that's it. So the hot drink's great, because if it's just hot water, it's not going to do anything.
This is what we actually do. I'm taking my bathers off under the costume, just because the cold that stays in the swimming costume.
Oh yeah. Yeah, mine's already off.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You did it stealth. We were trying to be very ladylike about it.
That's brilliant. And no, that's some skills right there, mind. You managed to do that on camera, like with just a little ruffle, and you're done. Well done.
I'm just not going to sit facing the other way.
Now I'm quite careful.
It's brilliant. So yeah, if it's just hot water, it's not going to do anything, because it's like a bit of a drop in the ocean. When you drink hot water, it's not going to warm up the core. You need the sugars. So like, a cup of tea with sugar in, or the best is like a herbal tea with a bit of honey in. But like my favorite is chai tea with a bit of honey in. Oh my God, yes. That is the ticket. Because spices are actually really good for kickstarting that rewarming metabolism. The other things is just being aware of glycogen supercompensation. We actually burn a lot of fuel when we get into the cold, and having something as soon as you come out, something nice and sugary, like even jelly babies or something like that. That's massively supportive to like start that rewarming.
We cannot promote eating sugar.
But I agree, food is actually quite important. So I will often do it, and then go in and have some, like, I don't know, toast, peanut butter, something like that.
Oh yeah,
warm.
Yeah.
Right, and on that note, we are going to go and make ourselves a mushroom adaptogenic coffee and warm up.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I like it. I think, you know what, you've encouraged me to do the same, because I've actually got some myself. So I'm going to get on that as well. But it's been absolutely lovely having a bath time with you.
Lovely. Amazing. Love you too, Brass Monkey. Thanks.
Bye. Yeah. And next time, let's do sauna.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Wicked.
We're always up for a sauna. Yeah, we can last longer in the sauna.
Brilliant. Right, take care, girls, and catch up soon.
Bye.
Bye.